Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to share my review of Heroes of Barcadia from Rollacrit. This is designed by Madison O'Neill, who also provides the artwork. Now, this core game is for 2 to 6 players, ages 21 and up. I'll talk about that a bit. Plays in around 30 to 90 minutes, and this retail edition carries an MSRP of $60. You can also add the retail edition of the party pack, which will add 2 additional characters, bringing the player count up to 8 for an MSRP of $25. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because I kind of have Heroes of Barcadia set up. But before I dive in, I do want to mention the fine folks over at Rollacrit were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. These days, it's very important that you know that. All right, so I'm going to get the box top out of the way here. And Heroes of Barcadia is essentially a dungeon delving drinking game. Yes, you heard that correctly. That's why it's for ages 21 and up. But I do want to point out that you could easily use any other sort of beverage. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage when you play Heroes of Barcadia. Now, having said that, if you're a teetotaler, you're probably not going to be appreciating the alcohol-related humor in Heroes of Barcadia. Should also note, if you are a player of fantasy role-playing games, if you're familiar with fantasy role-playing games, you're going to enjoy the tropes and puns and plays on words as far as the various different monsters and things that you're going to encounter. So I really like the sense of humor that Heroes of Barcadia has, and I dig the artwork as well because it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's sort of funny. So what's going to happen here is each of the players is going to take on a character, and that character is represented by a plastic cup, which I believe in the Kickstarter edition you were able to do. I think it was an add-on for glass, but in the retail edition you have 12-ounce plastic cups. On the front is going to be the character artwork. I've been using Sir Drank-a-Lot, the Inebriated, as my character. And then you'll see on the back is the hit points. So we have these different lines here. So full hit points is 60 hit points. So you'd fill the cup up to here. If you drain the cup, then that is death. That's 0 hit points. So we've got Sir Drank-a-Lot, and he has a special ability, the Heroic Huzzah. +2 attack in duels as long as you yell Huzzah before you roll. I'll talk about duels in just a bit. We've got Sir Drank-a-Lot. We have Intoxica, the Necromixer. We've got Merlot, the Sorcerer. Flaskian the Concealed, kind of an assassin. Absinthia of Wormwood. She's kind of the ranger character. And then Kegger the Barbarian, or I guess maybe I should say Kegar the Barbarian. So you can play 2 to 6 players. Honestly, the more players you have, the more fun it's going to be, because this is not a cooperative game. This is a competitive game, and there is a lot of screw your neighbor going on, especially playing these loot cards against the other players. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use Sir Drank-a-Lot and Intoxica as our examples to show you what goes on in a game of Heroes of Barcadia. We have these hexagons. These hexagonal tiles are dungeon rooms. Now, even though we have 7 of them here, this is a magic portal, as in portal. This counts as 1 room, even though we have 7 hexes here. These are each individual rooms. And we are trying to find the Grand Drink Guardian and defeat them because they've stolen all the liquor. And we want it back. So whoever defeats the Grand Drink Guardian is going to be the winner of the game. Now, you can't just fight them as soon as you find them because they're going to actually be shuffled in with the rest of the various different dungeon rooms. And I should point out, I don't have this set up exactly as it's supposed to be. That's supposed to be the setup of the dungeon there. But I did want to kind of give you a good feel for how this lays out. So you're not just sitting here putting a big ring around the center. You'll have empty spaces. During the game, during your turn, you can do one of 3 actions. 1, you can reveal a room that you're adjacent to. And if there's a monster there, attempt to defeat it. If you do defeat it, then you can move into the room. Now, there are some rooms that do not have monsters. They just have rewards. So those are cool. You can move right into those. So that's one of the actions you can take. Another action is to move through 2 revealed rooms. So revealed rooms have been cleared of any monsters. Loot has already been gathered. And you know a room's revealed when it's face up. Third thing you can do is you can actually attack the Grand Drink Guardian. You have to have 3 power-up cards in order to even attempt to defeat them. Now, we also have duels, which, as I pointed out, Sir Drank-A-Lot's special ability is a +2 to their die roll in duels. A duel is simply if you have 2 characters adjacent to each other, and it does not count as an action. What you can do is you can challenge them to a duel. So they're each going to roll a 20-sided die. High roller wins. So the loser is going to have to lose 10 hit points. So that means they would drink 10 points. And if it's the attacker who loses, they stay put. Now, if the defender loses, then you actually will exchange places. You'll switch them. That's a duel. Easy peasy. Now, one of the things that I really like is that each of the characters also have a matching 20-sided die in their color, and these are custom dice. So the 1 has a skull, and the 20 has kind of a yay, 20. There are some optional rules for critical hits and critical fumbles that use the 1 and the 20. Not to say that the game is complex in any way, shape, or form, but it adds a little more crunch to the proceedings. But just to play the standard game is fine as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your action. And let's say, okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. So we got a reward. Doesn't even have to fight a monster. So Sir Drank-A-Lot would be able to enter this room, and they get a loot card. With the loot cards, these are one and done. You use them, and they're done. Now, you keep them secret. You're not going to reveal your loot cards until you play one. So here we've got a trap, which are represented by these bottle caps. Plastic bottle caps. They're not real bottle caps. Place 1 trap in any unoccupied room of the dungeon, excluding the starting point. This is our starting point. Up to 3 traps may be placed in a room at a time. So you can play multiple trap cards at once. And these will tell you when you can play this. So this says this is between turns. So I could play this between my turn and Intoxica's turn and decide to place a trap wherever I want. So let's say I just put it there. So to disarm the trap, normally, unless you've got loot cards to make it easier, you're going to roll your 20-sided die. You have to roll a 10 or higher. If you don't, then the trap goes off and you take damage and you don't get to enter the room. All right, so those are traps. Let's say it's Intoxica's turn and we will flip this over and we have a monster. So we have 3 different monster rooms. We have just a standard monster, which is going to have a level, which is the number that you have to roll higher than, well, equal to or higher than, to defeat that monster. And then we also have damage. So if you don't defeat it, how much damage are you going to take? So this is Cerberus. It's kind of a takeoff of Cerberus. It is a team battle. So in a team battle, the active player is going to choose another player, and they are both going to roll dice. You're going to add the 2 totals together, looking to equal or better that level. So we're going to roll both these together. We're looking for 22. 29. Very nice. So we would win the team battle. We both get whatever reward is on this card. So 2 loot cards each. So Intoxica would get 2. Sir Drank-A-Lot would get 2 to go with his trap. And then Intoxica would get to move into that room. Now, this means the room has been revealed. The monster has been defeated. Now, if we lost, we would both have had to take 10 damage, and we would flip the card, the tile, back over. She would not get to enter that room because the monster has not been defeated. So we have team battles. Oh, here's a boss right up here. I'll bring it down to get a better look. So this is a boss monster. So with a boss monster, now the active player is going to choose another player to roll dice for the boss. So it's straight up whoever rolls higher wins. So we've got Intoxica here. She's the purple. A 14, a 17. Okay, so Intoxica would have lost, has to take 10 damage. And she would not get the reward because she didn't defeat that monster. And she would still be in that room. So let's say Sir Drank-A-Lot goes to reveal this. This is another team battle. It is the Mud Slydra. Take off on Hydra. So it is a team battle. So both players would roll their dice. This is a 20, 18. So it would be a loss. 5 damage for both. Flip this back over. So we also have magic portals. See if I can find one here. Now I didn't use, there we go. Here's a magic portal over here. So magic portals, you can teleport from one location to the other location. And that does not count as an action. But if I were moving, say, from this room to here, that would be 1, right? Because I'm moving into the room. I teleport here, and then I would go, and if it was already revealed, I'd be able to move that second room. Not revealed, can't do anything outside of just teleporting from the magic portal from there, from here to there. So what you're going to do is you're going to be revealing all these different rooms, fighting these different monsters, getting these different loot cards and power-up cards. Now, as I mentioned, the loot cards are one and done. You play it and it's discarded. The power-ups are actually permanent. So when you earn power-up cards, you're going to place these face up in front of you so that the other players can see what power-ups you've got. So as an example here, the Bottle Axe, +1 attack in boss battles. The Spiked Shield, +5 attack in duels. The King's Cup. Once during your turn, before you complete an action, you may draw loot cards until you have 3 in hand. It's a pretty powerful power-up. So you can only have 3 power-ups at one time. So if you get a 4th power-up, you have to swap it out. So you can only ever have 3 power-ups. And remember, you need to have 3 power-ups in order to be able to attempt to defeat the Grand Drink Guardian. So what happens when you hit 0 hit points? There's no player elimination in the game. What you're going to do is if you have any power-up cards, you're going to leave a power-up card of your choice in the room you were defeated. So that can be picked up by any character passing on through. You're going to go back to the starting room, and then you're going to fill your cup back up to the top. So you're going to have all your hit points back. So you're essentially just being moved back to the beginning and have to go from there. And you lose the power-up card. If you have no power-up cards, doesn't matter then. You're not going to leave loot cards or anything like that. Finally, you're going to find the Grand Drink Guardian, and you'll have 3 power-up cards that you've earned, and then you're going to go after the big bad, and hopefully you'll be able to defeat them. Once again, this is not a cooperative game, so whoever defeats the Grand Drink Guardian is the winner. And that is how you play Heroes of Barcadia from Rollacrit. So let's swing on over to the other camera so I can share my final thoughts as well as my review score. I really like Heroes of Arcadia. I dig its sense of humor. I think the artwork is funny. I like the little puns and the plays on words. And I am someone who will enjoy an adult beverage or two while playing board games. Not always, but on occasion, I definitely enjoy a nice cold adult beverage. This is something that is right up my alley. And the gang liked it as well. We had a really good time with it. I do wish there were some rules to make this co-op rather than to be competitive. Not because we don't mind playing a little screw your neighbor as far as board games. We're all into that as far as the gang goes. But there are people out there who won't really play competitive games. They only want to play cooperative games. And I think it should be easy enough to throw some co-op rules into Heroes of Barcadia to satisfy those folks. Now, I will also mention you don't have to drink alcoholic beverages while playing Heroes of Barcadia. But if you're someone who doesn't drink alcohol for whatever reason, you're really not going to appreciate the liquor-related humor. And if you don't play fantasy role-playing games, I can't really see why you would pick this game up at all if you don't drink and you don't play fantasy role-playing games. I just wouldn't see the appeal of this game for you. But for those of you out there like myself who enjoys a nice cold adult beverage or two while you're playing board games, this makes for a lot of fun with your group. And you can get up to 8 players with that party pack. And this does make for a fun party game as well. The game is super easy to learn how to play. Take 5 minutes to teach everybody at the table how to play Heroes of Barcadia. It's got that going for it as well. Yes, it's super light. There's not a lot of strategy involved in it. There is quite a bit of take that, especially with the loot cards. So hopefully overly sensitive players don't get upset when people pick on them. Because once you get those 3 power-up cards, everybody's going to be gunning for you. Because when you have those 3 power-up cards, if you've revealed the Grand Drink Guardian, you're one of the only people who can take it on because you need to have those 3 power-up cards. So everybody else is going to be messing with you to try to prevent you from taking on the big bad. Anyway, on a scale of 0 to 10, I give Heroes of Barcadia an 8 out of 10. I think it was that good. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not for everybody. I will tell you that right up front. It's not for everybody. But for myself and the rest of the gang, we enjoyed it quite a lot. All right, that is it for this time out. If you liked the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this review, It'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you won't find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thanks very much for watching the video. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, here's hoping all of you out there get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.